Well, yo, I have made it to 11 years of being single. Boy, isn't that something. Hey y'all, it's Ilana and welcome back to my channel. So, for my 11th year anniversary of being single, I do this every year on YouTube. Once I hit an anniversary of being single, I make some sort of video. And today I actually wanted to talk about something kind of shocking or surprising, but as you've seen from the title, it's about why I stopped dating. So if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name's Ilana. I post content about what it's like to navigate life and dating in Portland. So if you are thinking about moving to Portland, or maybe you're just single navigating the dating world, go ahead and subscribe down below because I think you'll like it here. So come join the kitten squad. All right, so without further ado, let's talk about this. So you're probably shocked that I've kind of stopped dating, or I feel like dating for me has kind of become canceled, at least especially in 2022. And I have a few reasons as to why I decided to stop dating, and I'm gonna talk about all of this. So yes, like stopping dating definitely will keep me single a little bit longer, but it's not in the ways that you think it is. So let me just explain. Back in December 2021, I made the decision to delete all of my dating apps off my phone. I was just starting to become really fed up with dating apps. I was tired of men not being able to communicate well. They don't know how to market themselves. They weren't taking themselves seriously. They had zero intentions of purpose of what they were looking for on a dating app. And it was making me feel like shit. It made me feel like I wasn't pretty enough for these guys, or I wasn't good enough for them, when really they probably weren't good enough for me. Dating is a two-way street, and honestly, I just knew that I could do better than what was out there on the dating apps, and I just simply became drained, and it was taking a huge toll on my mental health. I just couldn't stand people playing games on there and just all the bad behavior. It was driving me insane. So I said, you know what? I am just gonna delete these apps. I think it's gonna be really good for me. It will give me some more space on my phone, and it's gonna really challenge me to maybe meet somebody organically, and to not have to worry about opening some app every single day to play swipey, swipey, swipe to see if I can get a date of a certain week. I just was burning out from it. And then funny enough, after I deleted my dating apps, I ended up meeting somebody through LinkedIn. Yeah, don't use LinkedIn as a dating app. It actually happened very organically. We're actually gonna meet up as like a business purpose, like networking thing, and then eventually we just kind of admitted we liked each other, we found each other attractive, and then it just happened really organically from there, and that lasted for about a month. And so when I had first met up with the guy in person, you know, I actually talked about a lot of different things with him other than just like business stuff. We talked a little bit more about our personal lives. We were both single. Dating obviously came up in the subject because why not? I had talked to him and I explicitly stated like, yeah, I am out here looking for a serious relationship. But at that time I wasn't trying to date him, but he knew what my intentions were. And even though we ended up still going out, those intentions, like they still applied to him, right? So he knew what I wanted. And so we ended up pursuing each other. And so I kind of made the terrible assumption of assuming that he did want a relationship, and I think he actually did at the time. But then come towards the end of January, he hits me with the, I'm not in the mentally right place to date right now. I hope you can understand. And I was really pissed off. That just made me want to throw the towel in because I was so upfront with him, and I remember saying, I am mentally in the right place. You knew what I wanted, and I'm really frustrated because the very first day that I met you, I told you what my intentions were, even though our first meetup wasn't a date. And he goes, you're absolutely right. I know we weren't looking to date at that time. It just happened organically between us. So I get that you have every right to be frustrated. So at least he understood my frustration, and I don't think he's a horrible person at all. I think he's a really great person. I mean, I did tell him, you know, The door is open in case like you are in the right place, but just know that I'm not gonna wait around for you. And I haven't been waiting around from him. Would I give him a second chance? Yes, but at the same time, like, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. Like, I'm gonna continue living my life. But when I got that text message, I was just really pissed off. I was frustrated. I was like, this is exactly like what keeps me single, because men don't fucking know what they want. When I am like upfront with my intentions and I say like, I want a serious relationship, I am ready for a serious relationship. I've been single for a long time. I've gotten to grow as a person, work on myself. There are so many things that I know that I want in a partner, and so many things that I know that I can give to a partner. And I do believe that I can make an excellent partner to somebody out there. And it's very hard to find people who are just in the same place as life as you. It is really hard to make connections with people. And I've been talking with some of my girlfriends about this, and we've all said to each other how much we wish that we liked women. Like, every single day, I am kind of sad that I'm not a lesbian or bisexual. Like, I wish I was sexually attracted to women. I just feel like I would have way more options, and I would be able to find with what I wanted in a partner. And that really frustrates me. Like, oh, I wish I was a lesbian sometimes. Oh my gosh. So it's really frustrating when I can't find men who can connect with me. And I'm sure men out there also have that same issue where they probably have a hard time finding women that they connect with. Partnerships are also about like an emotional connection. You guys have to have things in common. You guys are supposed to do things together that you enjoy. You need to be on the same page about a lot of things, and it's been really hard to find. Like, I don't have unreasonable standards. I mentioned this in one of my videos that like, I don't care what a guy's height is. Like, you don't need to be 6 feet tall. I'm only 5'1", so a 6 feet tall man is just fucking useless to me. You don't need to have six-pack abs. Let me tell you, I've dated lots of guys with bellies and dad bods. I've dated men with facial hair, without facial hair. I've dated men of all sorts of shapes and sizes. Like, physical attraction, it's so subjective. Men are going to look different. It's really about your personality, and if we have a good connection. And of course, like, yes, I do need to be physically attracted to you, but that's not everything. It is hard to find connection with people, and that is something that I truly have struggled for the longest time. It's hard to find people who have the same interests as me, who are on the same life path as me, who want the same things out of life as me, who are emotionally intelligent like I am, who have maybe been single for just as long as I have, and they're ready to go back into a relationship. They're ready for love. They're excited about it, especially marriage and kids. That is something that they are like craving, they want and desire because it's so delicious. I just haven't found that, and I think that has to do with the fact that like I've been relying on dating apps for a huge chunk of my life. And I just absolutely want no part in it anymore. After that one experience with that guy, it was a little discouraging. I did feel discouraged, and I was just like, enough is enough, because if there's something that I just never really recognized from dating for all of these years, dating isn't always fun. And dating, as I've mentioned before, is mentally exhausting and it's draining. And I just don't have the energy to do it anymore. And one thing that I noticed is that ever since I deleted my dating apps, things have just turned around in my life for the positive, and I'm gonna get into that in just a little bit. But also, I want to say starting around in February is when I personally didn't really have a lot of time to date. Well, I did, but I didn't really want to make it a priority. I mean, back in February, I was preparing for getting surgery on my chin, and then a couple weeks into March, I was recovering from that, and I looked like a chipmunk. I did not look cute. And then I was traveling for my friend's bachelorette trip, and then a few weeks later, at the end of March, I went back to my hometown of Richmond, Virginia for like a whole month and a half. I didn't get back into Portland until like the beginning of May. So obviously I wasn't going to be dating anybody when I was in Richmond. First of all, I want absolutely nothing to do with Richmond men. Oh my God. I have no desire. Also, I was staying with my parents, so it's not like I could have brought men back to their place. And I certainly was not trying to hook up with anyone and go back to their place. It was just not happening. Like, I absolutely did not want to touch Richmond men with a 10-foot pole. I wasn't gonna do it. It was just not a priority. I was gonna focus on seeing some friends and filming content and just spending time with my family. That was like my biggest priority. Oh, and looking for jobs as well. That was another thing that I was doing. So that took away time for me to date as well. And then when June rolled around, I got a new job, and so I wanted to focus on just preparing for that again. I was also focusing a little bit more on content still, and I was making tons of plans with friends, and that has even fallen into this month of July, which I can't believe we're almost finished with. And so most of July, I've still just been spending time with friends. The thought of wanting to go out with a guy right now just sounds nauseating in my opinion. I personally have just felt no desire to want to date. And it's really great that I can just really focus on myself. And it's not to say that I wasn't focusing on myself when I was dating. I mean, I was. But there was so much work that I had to wrap around when I had to balance my social life, dates, content, work, me time. Like 5 things to juggle, it was a lot. And I was always tired, and I'm still tired. I'm still emotionally exhausted, and I have been experiencing like chronic burnout for the past 1.5 years, and I am trying everything that I can to get out of that lump because it's not fun. But let's talk about some things that I've noticed that have positively impacted me since I've stopped dating. I'm a lot happier. It is so nice to just not have to worry about if I'm gonna get ghosted, if a guy's gonna text me back, when I'm gonna see somebody again next, if the person is still even interested in me, am I even interested in them? And it just feels really good to just not have to think about that. I personally feel very relieved, and like some sort of weight has just been lifted off my shoulders since I stopped dating and putting in effort, and that feels great. I feel like it's just opened up more time for myself, and I don't have to worry about making plans around like my personal friendships, around my me time, around my job. I literally can do whatever I want, and that feels amazing. Plus, ever since I deleted my dating apps and haven't been going on dates or meeting people organically, I feel like my self-worth has come back again, and I just feel so much better. I mean, I recently bought a ton of new clothes, which has given me a lot of confidence to feel good, and I finally have clothes that fit me again, and that's been something that I truly love. I feel like my anxiety levels have gone down a ton, and personally I think that also has to do with my anxiety meds, but it all ties in together. Like, I'm not feeling anxious about when someone is gonna text me back or how a guy feels about me, and that is so nice. I also don't really feel lonely. Ever since I've been seeing my friends more and more, I'm always busy, I'm always doing things, I'm always out and about. Yes, I live alone and I do live with my cat, but I just feel like I'm surrounded by so much company around me. I live in a great apartment complex where I'm always surrounded by people, and the extrovert in me loves that. So I'm doing okay. Like, I'm not lonely because I have people who support me and who are around me that can also give me that happiness and fulfillment, and I don't need a partner for that. And finally, like, I just have more peace with myself, and just life feels just so much more carefree. I don't have to think about men and dating and worrying about like if I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life. I just don't give a shit anymore. I don't. I mean, of course, like, I still want marriage, I still want kids, but right now I'm not having anxiety about it like I have for the longest time. And that feels great. So I love that I am just not dating. I remember when I had Shani Silver on my podcast, we talked a lot about dating and how Shani just stopped dating and how she hasn't really been on dates in a while. And she said that ever since she stopped dating and trying to put in effort and that she's just living her life and whatever happens, happens, it has been so good for her mental health, and that really inspired me. And I was thinking, you know what, she's absolutely right, and I can totally see where she's coming from, and I'm so glad that she had a positive experience, because I am starting to see my own positive experience by not putting in effort, by not having to just worry about when my next date is gonna be, by having to match with people on dating apps. I don't have to worry about that anymore, and that feels amazing. Oh my God, it feels so good. I am gonna continue to just do me. I'm gonna live my life organically. I'm gonna do what I want when I want. If I meet somebody along the way, and of course, like I did make a video about like how I wanna meet people, potentially men, like I'm still gonna do that and follow through with it, but I'm honestly gonna go more for friends as opposed to finding a partner. It's just that by doing that, I could definitely meet somebody, and that's great, and that's exactly what I want, is to just not have to think about it, to just live my life and to just do things, meet more people the way that I want to meet people. And if I find somebody that knocks my socks off, then so be it, and that's how I will handle it. I just am really mad at myself that I didn't think of this sooner, but you know what? You live and you'll learn, and I'm glad that I eventually did come to this decision. And that's why I haven't really had many like dating stories to share, why some of my single girl videos have winded down just a little bit. Don't worry, like every month I do try to put some sort of dating content or single girl content out there, because I know some people do come to my channel for that. So I wanted to talk about the truth and like why I just haven't been dating, and me saying cheers to year 11 of being single. Let's make it a good one. Y'all, I hope you liked this video. If you did, do make sure you give it a thumbs up. And with that, I will see you in my next video.